What's up, guys? It's a Life Project, and you're listening to the Weekly Pour podcast.
Hey guys, it's LIV and you're listening to the Weekly Pour. Great metalheads, crazy music, because we all bleed metal. Ciao.
Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan. You're listening to me right here and watching on the Weekly Pour podcast. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi from, just about every band but ABBA, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Turn it up.
I'm Logan, right?
Yes.
That's how all right, I'll go now. What's up, everybody? It's Logan from All the Pretty Things, and you're listening to TbT and Ace on the Weekly Pour podcast.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Pour podcast. I am TbT. That guy over there, that's Ace. And Ace, you are on location. That is not your normal background. I'm confused as heck. Where are you?
I am in the great state of New York, in New Hartford, right now, visiting Kathy from Music and More Records.
Outstanding.
This is from the remote set, the northern set.
The northern set.
She's got a little space back here that carved away for me, so I use it when I get up here. I've used it once in the podcast before, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did one from her store, which is where she's at right now, working and slaving away at a busy day at the record store.
Well, we are eagerly awaiting her appearance. Hopefully she will, because she has not jumped into the chat. However, we do know that Natalie's there, and I know there's some others that are lurking on the YouTube page right now, since we're broadcasting live on YouTube as we record this live podcast. So if you're in watching, please jump in and say something so we know that you're there. Natalie made sure to indicate that you already smile, so you already know what's coming. She knows that you're only in New York to do one thing, and
Right.
that's clean the turtle.
You should see that fucking turtle tank. Now, it's not as disgusting as it usually is.
Okay.
But it's got this hazy green film going on. The turtle is sitting on top of the rock because he don't want to get in that water.
He's shit in it too much.
He's like, I'm not getting in that nasty green crap. I mean, he's a turtle.
Okay, so how long have you been there?
I just got here today about noonish. I got off the plane about noonish.
Okay, so you've been there for 7 hours and still haven't cleaned the turtle.
I took a nap.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Naps are more important than turtle cleaning.
I ate lunch and took a nap.
Okay. And you are having your own weekly pour, I see.
I am. This is
Bud Light.
My favorite. No. Gosh, no. This is a Labatt's Blue Light, a Canadian beer.
Are you playing hockey this afternoon?
You would not want to see me on the ice because, you'd see me all over the ice. I'd be on my ass.
Then that means I probably would want to see it.
Yeah, you would. It's pretty hilarious.
So you're in New York for the week?
Right. We'll be here till Friday or Saturday. The wife's been up here a couple days prior to me visiting because she has that privilege. I have to work.
Yes.
So that I finished up my fourth job last night and came here.
Excellent. And those that do not know, you're, like you mentioned, you're with Kathy, and Kathy is one of our self-proclaimed, as we have done, sponsors of the podcast with Music and More Records. So that's great. You guys have been friends for a very long time, and hopefully she'll make an appearance because it's been a long time since we've seen her. She's always lurking in the chat, and it's kind of strange not having her in there. So hopefully we'll get to see her beaming face here momentarily.
Yeah, hopefully she'll finish up at the store here shortly and maybe pop in.
Yeah. So I got to tell you a story.
I can't wait.
Well, I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's entertaining, I guess, as long as you're not me. But right. I have the place of gathering that I've decided to call the Garage Mahal.
A great name.
Yes, and great location. It's a finished pole barn, I guess is what they would call it in this area. Um, Bathroom, we're talking sink, shower, toilet, all the fun stuff, and a concrete floor. So I decided I'm going to talk to somebody about getting the floor finished. Finished meaning it's like some kind of an epoxy that they put down. It's kind of like the stuff that you can go buy at Lowe's or any other big box store where you put down a layer of stuff, you throw sprinkly stuff out, let it dry, put on a clear coat, and call it good. That stuff is usually made of latex. So you're
Right.
talking a year or two and it's done. It's starting to wear out from vehicles or feet. It cracks, it peels, all that stuff. So I went with a professional.
Okay.
Professional comes in and they lay down like some kind of wicked ass epoxy that's shipped in from like Saudi Arabia. And then they still do all the sprinkly stuff and then they clear coat it and voila, you have a badass looking floor.
Right.
Awesome. So I wanted not an appraisal, but I I wanted to
Estimate.
come an estimate. Yeah, that's the big word I couldn't think of for today. So I go and I have the guy comes over yesterday, and we're shooting the bull, talking about it, and I'm like, all right, cool. He's explaining the process. How they have to basically sand the floor, but they're just roughing it up so that the epoxy or whatever will adhere to it.
It has something to grab,
Right,
basically.
right. Just like you would a desk or something that you got to rough up, or anything that you have to paint, whatever. So we go through this whole process, and he says, "What do you do?" And I tell him what I do, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And I tell him part of my past with being in the military for a little while, and
In
he's like,
in the darker parts of your past.
"Right, right." And the much darker parts, the parts where I had to shave, because I had to shave for those 21 years. And he's like, "Oh, that's awesome. We offer a military discount." And I was like, "Cool." Wasn't going to ask, whatever. And he's like, "We'll do this in a day. We'll come in, we'll sand, the surface. We'll get it ready. We'll come in by hand and do all the cut-ins on every corner. And because I have a bathroom, they would have to do around the toilet by hand and all this. And then we'll come in and, we'll roll it. This is a two-person job, mind you."
Yeah. And this is customized to the hilt.
Yes. Um, they'll come in, do all that stuff. I'm like, sweet, that's awesome. And then he's like, yeah, and then we'll go to lunch. And I was like, okay, because, cool. People need to go to lunch. He's like, but
Was he inviting you?
no,
And we'll
no,
go to lunch.
which was kind of rude, but whatever. And, and I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, yeah, that hour that we're gone for lunch allows it to cure just enough to where we can walk on it. And I was like, "Oh, cool." That's when they walk on it and they brush up all the excess, sparkly stuff, whatever, vacuum it. I might have the steps missed, but whatever. So they do that, and then he goes, within 4 hours, it's done, completely dry. Within 24 hours, you can drive on it. So basically, a day, 24 hours from when they're completely done, you can drive on it. No worry about it messing up. No slinging paint on your tires, all that fun stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Sounds great.
I'm excited. It's gonna make it's gonna just make it pop, to use the slang. It's gonna make it look good. So he's doing all of his math and writes everything down on a piece of paper and tears off the top sheet. He keeps it, gives me the bottom one that he puts in a folder and hands to me, and says, "All right, man, you decide to move forward with this. Just let me know, and even if you don't, give me a call, let me know." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, sounds good. All right, have a good day." And he drives off. I grab my polar bear and we head back into the house, and I sit
Wait,
down at my well,
wait.
go ahead.
You took the polar bear?
Yeah, the polar bear was outside.
Okay.
Yeah,
I,
he was just checking things out.
okay.
Worst
That's
guard dog on earth.
a big creature.
Yeah, so polar bear comes back in. I come in. I still have the folder in my hand, and I sit down, and I'm like, let me read on some of this, because he gave me a pamphlet, of course, a flyer.
Yeah.
And I open it up, and I'm reading. Yep, that's me. That's my name. That's my square footage. That's the stuff. And then I get to the estimate. That was about the time that my life flashed before my eyes, because I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting, I won't say much less, but much less. And this estimate was $9,000.
Holy crap.
Well, let's say it was like 9,300, 9,400, something like that. Keep in mind that is with the military
With
discount.
military discount.
Yeah. $9,000. Now, I don't, Kathy. Yay. You look
Hi.
spectacular.
It's the light.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it had to be, because I told Ace the same thing. I was like, you look pretty good today. Like, not in a
That's what
weird
he
way,
said.
but yeah. So welcome. Good to see you. That was probably the fastest you've ever made it home from work.
It was dead today.
Oh, okay.
Just told him how busy it was.
It wasn't.
Oh, see, you're making him out to be a liar. So he said the store was packed.
Oh,
I did.
it wasn't. I had like a few people the last, I don't know, since like 5:30.
Oh, wow.
There was a bunch of people in here, but
So-
then at quarter, it was empty.
Done. So my better half just chimed in on the chat and said that the actual price was $95.73.
Holy crap. He's putting a floor into his.
Oh, no,
garage wall.
no, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's
Next to
not.
the hot tub?
What?
Next to the hot tub?
No. In the garage mahal.
Yeah.
Next to the hot tub in the pool?
No,
Right.
the hot tub's
shower?
on the back porch. But
In the
$9,500. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. All I know is that this guy is just going to get AstroTurf and lay it in there and not pay the $95.73.
Are you going to call him and tell him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said
because I
call.
told him I would. I said, look, even if we don't do it, I'll call you and let you know, because that's the friendly thing to do. So he's not holding on to this estimate that's good for 30 days. It was really only good for about 6 hours.
And then it
Because
was
as soon as I told the wife, she about flipped, and I heard about it for an hour, even 20 minutes today, because we were discussing other things, like Kathy mentioned, a pool.
yes,
And
she wants a pool.
yeah, no. I can go to one of those other places and buy a big ass roll of AstroTurf and some double-sided tape
Right.
and done. And then
And
it'll
then
look
put
like I've
tables
got
in
grass.
to hold it down. You got tables in there to hold it down.
Yeah.
Concrete blocks in the corner.
A polar bear to walk on the double-sided tape.
Right. I mean, there's cheaper ways to do this.
Yes. But yeah,
This-
much cheaper. I could do it for $200. Probably not.
And, you know, how many residential places do something like this?
I don't know.
Because one of the places I work, job 6 or 7, is a pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
They did this all throughout their building. That's
Right.
the type of thing you're talking about. But they're a giant global pharmaceutical company.
That makes
And-
billions of dollars every day.
Yes, they can do that.
I do
I mean, they pay me to do nothing.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm not paying it. Can't
hey,
do it.
the thing is, you had a nice conversation with a nice guy. I mean,
Still didn't get asked to go to lunch.
oh, he's a dick.
Yeah, total dick. So whatever. Yeah, but I had to share that because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't out of place by thinking $9,500 was exorbitant.
No. Oh, you said exorbitant.
Ooh, is that even a word?
It is.
Did I use it correctly?
You did. It means a lot.
That is the end of this podcast. We will be back next week. Wow.
No.
Kathy,
Yes.
what is the album of the week?
Crap. I should have looked before I got home.
Yeah.
Totally unprepared. Shiitake mushrooms. Hang on.
I will tell you, she was playing
Winger.
the new Winger in the
I
store.
thought she was about to tell me that there was a new album called Shiitake Mushrooms.
Think about that. It's by Loudness. Isn't that one of the Loudness records?
Yes. They're a Japanese band.
They are.
Welcome back, Loudness. And
They can't
Shiitake
come to America.
Mushrooms. That's great. We can do it. Hey, Lou jumped in the chat. What's up, Lou? I miss you. I love you. I want a big hug.
All of the Scorpions reissues.
The Scorpions records?
Yep. Fly to the Rainbow, Entrance, Taken by Force, Tokyo Tapes, Virgin Killer.
That's all that old stuff, too, with Michael Schenker.
So all that's in on Friday. Let's see.
That's good stuff.
And Dirty Heads, Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Oh, Fifth Angel. Why did that escape my thought? Fifth Angel.
Who is that?
You guys must look up Fifth Angel. Great band from the 80s and 90s. They're putting out a brand new one called When Angels Kill.
I thought that was the TV show that used to be on in the early 90s with Jessica Alba.
Oh, Dark Angel.
See?
I was close.
These are the two from the 80s.
Ah, okay. I am looking at their stuff right now.
For those that can't see what's going on, Ace is currently tapping away on a keyboard, and Kathy is pretty much showing him what to do.
Right, right.
She's teaching him how to spell angel. No, that's angle. That's angle.
I do that all the time.
So Fifth Angel, they came out with a self-titled in I think 1987. Then they followed it up with Time Will Tell in 89. And then they had a couple of minor ones, but the next one is coming out this week, and it is heavy. Picture Impellitteri mixed with maybe a little bit of the metal of Striper.
Really?
Yeah.
So do they have any mainstream players, any band members that we would know?
That I can't remember.
There's some here.
No. They really didn't do a whole lot.
They had a major label. They were on Epic Records.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
As for major players, no, not really, but super, super good.
Well, I've wrote that down because I want to look that up.
Well, that happens too. Just because you don't make it big doesn't mean you weren't good.
That's true.
This came out, they had stuff came out in 83, 84, 86, something like that. You had a slew of bands coming out around that time.
Yeah.
A slew of bands.
Sure.
Think about the bands that came out right before the gate closed in the early 90s that you never hear about, but the records are really good.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of those. Even the second Trickster record that no one listened to was really good.
What do you mean no one?
I enjoyed the third one.
That no one listened to.
Correct.
Where's the speaker?
Okay.
Well, we have to be careful because we don't want to copyright infringe this.
Just a second.
So the guitar work, just that brief part, sounded very Striper-esque.
Yeah.
There you go.
They must use Jackson's.
I don't know.
Exclusively.
Yeah, exclusively. It's funny though that you bring up a band from back in the day because there was a recent article, an interview that Stephen Pearcy did, and Stephen Pearcy was talking about that Rat and only a handful of other bands were actually the ones that kickstarted the early Sunset Strip scene in the early 80s.
Right.
And of course, he's going to name himself, but there's nothing wrong with saying Rat because Rat was absolutely, one of those, I don't know, co-founder, godfathers, if you will, of that whole scene.
He's very accurate. They were one of the first ones when they were Mickey Rat.
Right.
In the LA scene. Matter of fact, Jakey Lee was in the band at the time, right before they took off.
Yeah, and of course he names Motley Crue, Quiet Riot, and Wasp as some of those others. But what he also mentions are two other bands that some people may not realize who they are.
Right.
Dante Fox.
Correct. Which turned into
Great White.
Right.
And Rock's Regime, which ended
turned
up
into
being Striper. Exactly.
Yep. They were, and they weren't the Striper that you know now. They weren't the Striper that you knew in the mid 80s.
No.
You know, this was a much of the scene type of band back then, like everyone else. And then,
exactly.
You know, they had their bit of conversion, changed their tactic a bit, and came out with a different angle, like a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And got themselves over with their yellow and black attack.
Yep.
So, matter of fact, Dante Fox was one of the bigger bands at the Starwood. So you had the Roxy, the Whiskey, and the Starwood on the LA Strip. And some of these bands would have like become the house band, and extended residencies. And Dante Fox was one of those bands. They had some changes in lineups. I think mainly with, I think maybe with a bass player or someone like that. They had a guy with an eye patch and a knife. I know that he had a knife like on his hip.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, they changed their name to Great White because the management said to, and they did, and it worked out.
Yeah. Stephen Pearcy, along with that, he's out promoting the Atlantic years 84 through 1991, which is a new limited edition box set from BMG celebrating Rat's massively successful period where all 5 of their studio albums were certified gold, platinum, or multi-platinum. And due on June 9th, the LP set features all 5 albums remastered on black vinyl and the rare Nobody Rides for Free 7-inch single.
Ooh, that's a good song.
With a 1-page replica tour book, a poster, bumper sticker, and all that fun stuff. The cool thing is that all the albums feature the classic lineup of Pearcy, DeMartini, Crosby, Crucier, and Blotzer. So that's really cool.
Crosby as well, right? You said Crosby.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad that
Robin.
I'm glad that Stephen Pearcy kind of waves that flag a bit for his band because they don't get the recognition a lot of times that other bands do.
No.
We talked about this not that long ago. I think we talked about it a few times, but he has mentioned, and I think he's still irritated, but they could have been, if they could have kept their shit together as a band on that stadium tour.
Exactly.
They would have fit right in. They were as big as, maybe bigger than Poison. But of course, Poison took that concert to another level. But you know, we had Joan Jett, which is great. We love Joan Jett, but she was the outlier, right?
I think so.
Boy, you slide Rat right in there. You follow it up with Poison, you know, Def Leppard, and then your headliner, Motley Crue.
Exactly.
Man,
that's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just have not been able to keep anything together, basically since Robin Crosby passed. They've struggled with that.
And what do people remember most now of that time? Of course, the albums and the songs were great, but everybody, you know, kind of goes back to Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, the metal years, and the whole pool scene and Down on a Fifth of Jack.
Oh, well, that's Chris Holmes.
Right.
Wasp.
Yeah. So you get that, and then you talk about Rat and everybody else that was in that film, then, you know, it's like, oh, that's all they remember.
It is all they remember, is that one scene, which is a shame. That and Ozzy trying to cook.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that was hilarious, but...
It's still Ozzy trying to cook.
Right. And, you know, I mean, the Chris Holmes thing always made me feel bad for him.
Yeah.
You know, he's that messed up and floating in his pool. And I think his mom's there, isn't she?
Yes.
Isn't his mother poolside?
And wasn't it just a couple of years ago or something that somebody said that was staged?
They've been saying that for a while. That and the Aussie scene.
Yeah.
Basically, like reality TV has always been.
Sure.
Where we want to get the vibe of what we're talking about and how crazy these guys can be. So let's stage a scene because we can't wait around for you to really get crazy. You know, and it's dangerous. Well, hell, who knows what might happen?
Yeah, exactly.
So here's some vodka, Chris Holmes, or whatever. I think it was vodka.
I thought it was a bottle of Jack.
Oh, a bottle of Jack. Don't drown.
Yeah, please.
And it'll be okay.
Yeah, just float here.
But yeah, we've talked about that with Rat, and it's too bad they can't do something. But Stephen Pearcy's kind of moved on. He's moved on doing whatever solo shows he's doing, and he'll sing the Rat songs anyway, so that'll be fine.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah. So, Kathy, before you came in, we had a very short but yet informative talk about cleaning the turtle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Natalie was immediately all about the turtle when she found out that Ace was in New York.
Dirty. He won't even go in it. He's sitting on his rock.
No, he's fine.
Because he's scared of the
He's fine. I know my turtle. He's fine. He's happy. I'm sure you saw the video of him on the porch. He's happy.
Yeah, because he was out of the tank.
Well, yeah. And for those that didn't just see that, Ace got smacked. But he does bring up a valid point. I mean, whatever, I'm not going to get into it because I'm not having Kathy come my way and smack me too. I'll say it and then you can smack him. This is going to work out great for me.
Yeah, thanks. We'll see how it goes. I'm not here for very long, but if I can get to it, I will help the poor turtle.
We'll make time.
Well, we better because when I'm up in July, it's going to be worse.
Yes.
Yeah. So he may be sitting on the edge of the tank instead of the edge of the rock.
He's fine.
She sounds like someone that's waiting for the apocalypse to happen.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah,
fine. Meanwhile, there's a mushroom cloud out in the distance.
You know the meteor's going to hit New York tomorrow, right? It's fine.
Fine.
He'll be all right in the morning.
Speaking of fine, are you being affected by the fires in Canada?
Not anymore.
But you were.
Oh my God, it was bad.
Really?
It was bad. I like when you went onto the eco site or whatever it was called, and it was like 0 to 400 being max. We were 468.
Of what? Air quality?
Yeah.
Or lack of?
400 being like the worst hazardous air of all time. We were 468.
Wow. Could you?
But now we're down to like 30.
Could you taste it?
Yeah. After I live 1 mile from work, and by the time I left my house and got to work, I had a sore throat. It was that bad.
And that was because of the smoke. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, don't pick up hitchhikers.
They were urging everyone to wear masks to kind of filter out a little bit of the debris.
No.
But like I would always carry my phone. Like I wouldn't put my phone in my purse. I would carry my phone out. And from my house, from my door to my car, the screen was covered in dust. I would have to wipe it off.
Have we not went full circle when they used to tell us just a year or two ago to wear your mask indoors, and now we're having to wear it outdoors?
This proves it's a government plot.
Oh no, it was bad. I mean, like I said, 1 mile, and I had a sore throat.
But who pissed off the Canadians, eh?
I don't know.
It takes a lot too. It takes a lot to piss off a Canadian.
Yeah. I mean, they've got great hockey. They've got great beer.
They do. I'm drinking it now.
Somebody pissed them off and they said, we're starting a fire, eh?
We're going to burn it down.
Yeah. I think it's because none of the Canadian teams are in the Stanley Cup finals.
Oh my God. When's the last time? I don't know what you know about hockey. No, we don't know a lot about hockey, but
I know a lot about hockey.
oh, okay.
I love
But
hockey.
oh, excellent, great.
Yeah.
How do you put a team in the middle of a desert and they keep winning? You put them in. How do you put a team in the heat of Florida and they keep winning?
So the ECHL, which used to be called the East Coast Hockey League, it is no longer. It is just simply called the ECHL. It is like double A baseball, but it's double A hockey. They
Right.
just had their series championship, their championship series, and the winners of the cup in the ECHL, the Florida Everblades.
What the Everblades?
But that just goes to what you were saying. It's a Florida team.
It is. I love that name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, you don't have a Canadian team competing. You don't have like Detroit, Chicago. Those teams up north used to do really well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's I'm a Red Wings fan
Ah, cool.
and the hockey team. So when they were winning, it was great. I love the Red Wings, but they haven't been in for a long time. Well, I'm going to try to see if Google knows this answer. Last Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup. Holy crap. Guess
Who?
the year.
1987.
Higher.
Okay. 1995.
1993.
I was close, David. Edmonton. Not Edmonton, was it?
No. Another Canadian town.
Not Montreal.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
God. Get your shit together, Canada. It's your game.
Oh, careful. They'll smoke your ass out of New York. Now, I could get it if they grew like a lot of cannabis up there and they just decided, well, I hope that's not what burnt.
It's on the West Coast.
Oh, well, then New York's screwed.
Of Canada. I mean, that's all that is up there by Portland, by Oregon and all that. That's all marijuana country.
That is crazy, though, that it's been since 1993 that a Canadian team has won. Now, you can't really say much because there aren't that many Canadian teams.
No, not like there used to be.
I mean, yeah, not at all. Like you said, not like there used to be. But there's a lot of like they have like how like where we're at. I don't know how many times I can say like in a 30-second period, but in our area, there'll be basketball teams.
Right.
There'll be some school teams, some pickup leagues, stuff like that. Well, hockey has the same thing in Canada. However, Stanley Cup's been down here. Maybe that's what they're pissed off about.
Well, it could be. This could be the strike, the first strike to bring back the Stanley Cup. Smoke it.
It could be. I wonder what else is from Canada that we need to get.
Have you been to a Detroit game?
No. I lived in Michigan and never even got to a game.
I was hoping you had been because I want to know if you threw squids on the ice or...
Oh, no, that's one person. One person does that.
One?
One person is allowed to throw a squid.
I thought it was the entire arena.
No, those are usually hats after a hat trick.
Okay.
Yeah. But only one squid.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you know what time it is?
Time is it?
It's time for that weekly poor bastard.
Oh, no.
Hey guys, Natalie here. A Florida man, concerned that his dealer may have sold him the wrong kind of drugs, was trying to do the right thing, play it safe, and get his drugs tested. According to reports, 41-year-old Thomas Colucci called 911 and requested an officer be dispatched to his home to test the drugs that he had bought to make sure it was meth and not bath salts. When the officers arrived, Colucci told them that he had bought some meth off of a guy at a bar, but after consuming some, he was worried that they may be bath salts because he's an experienced user and should know what meth feels like. He provided deputies with 2 baggies containing a crystalline substance. The responding officers tested the substance, and the results showed that they contained meth. As a result, Colucci was arrested on felony drug possession charges and more. Poor bastard.
And thank you, Natalie, for the weekly poor bastard.
Is he poor bastard or dumb bastard?
I'm going to go with dumb, but I don't know if we should do poor dumb. But
You can't go
yeah,
wrong with Florida man.
exactly.
Florida man never fails you.
Lou, being from Michigan, has corrected both of us, and I feel ashamed. But it is not a squid.
It's an octopus.
It is an octopus. Yeah.
Okay.
So I stand corrected, Lou. Thank you. And that will never happen again. And Kathy is now in the chat.
Yay.
She couldn't lean over the chair anymore. And she's watching in the living room.
The hat trick thing makes sense.
Yes.
The octopus thing, I think I even read up on the history of it. It doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to me.
Why?
It's tradition.
Okay. Where did that start? Someone didn't have a hat?
I don't know. See, you're gonna put me on the spot, and I'm gonna look like an idiot. Lou will chime in a minute, and
when he gets a minute,
hopefully. But what? So one of our recent conversations was with Steelheart lead singer Millie Inco.
Right.
And
excellent conversation. It's in the archive.
For those that have not heard, he recently suffered a mini stroke.
Ooh.
And because of this, they actually discovered that he has a small hole in his heart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is the same kind of, kind of condition that Bret Michaels had years ago that was corrected. And as far as we know, Bret's been fine ever since. Well, Milienko will be fine after he gets a small procedure done, but I'm not sure when that's happening, but he's going to have to take it easy and just kind of chill until he has that procedure. But we wish him the very best, of course.
Well, we were supposed to see him soon.
Right.
I wonder if we'll see him or not. I wonder.
Well, I hope so. But obviously his health comes first, but hopefully he gets it taken care of before that so that we still are able to see him. Their 30th anniversary album will be coming out soon. I believe it's sometime this month, so we're just kind of waiting. If you follow Milienko on, I believe, his Instagram page, he's been giving updates to the fans about his condition, what's going on. Kind of really just laying it out there, saying this is what's up, this is why you haven't heard from me, and that's that. So again, we wish him the best, and hope he recovers from that very fast.
Right. I mean, that's something to mess around with. Luckily, it's a simple procedure. This Richie Faulkner, he was one that really went through something devastating, like on stage.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, a year ago or so, maybe longer, where basically, his heart kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
While performing.
Yeah, just kind of said, I'm done.
Believe that, like the aorta basically disassembled from the heart, in essence. And
right.
he had to have work done on the plumbing there to get it straightened out, but he's all healthy now. So the heart is nothing to mess around with.
No, not at all. Even if you think it's a steel heart.
Ooh.
See, that was pretty good. Lou did chime in, and he said that it had something to do with playoff wins back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the octopus.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So how many? They got 8? Is it 8 arms or?
So moving along.
Never mind.
If
So
you didn't know this, this is big news for us because I know we're fans of this band. But Ann and Nancy Wilson are finally collaborating on new music again.
that is huge, huge. I hope that means they've reconciled whatever differences they had going on. Their squabble.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Um, Sorry, I'm getting text messages, so kind of delayed me there for a second. But yeah, it's good that they're collaborating, and hopefully we'll get something new and maybe a tour. I think their big difference was, from the way I understand it, I believe the way Anne explained it was Anne, I believe, wanted to focus on newer music and keep putting out music, whereas Nancy wanted to focus on just the hits tour kind of thing.
Right.
I
Well,
think that's the crux of it.
Nancy has said with this recent collaboration that it's been a really nice kind of rediscovery of our relationship, working on music together again. So, yeah, I'm really happy about that. So, really, I mean, that's huge.
It is, and to her credit, in interviews that I read, was keeping the faith, saying, "Hey, it's not a breakup. We're sisters, and we've been together a long time, and
Sure.
this stuff happened." Um, and she reiterated many times that she wasn't mad at her sister or anything like that.
Right.
So it was just one of those things. And this ain't the first time that they've squabbled,
No.
and it probably won't be the last, even as old as they are. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever seen Heart live, but
Yes.
it's something
It was
to see right there.
maybe probably 10 to 12 years ago. I don't remember who they were on tour with. It may have been Kiss, or it could have just been me since, you disappeared on me. But
Probably Cheap Trick 500 times because they always tour with Cheap Trick whenever I see them.
it may have been Def Leppard. But it was shoot, I don't remember. But yeah, they're amazing. They're awesome. I could be thinking of Lita Ford, but I know I've seen Hard at some point. I just don't remember who they were with. But it'll be good to
So
have them back because I mean, just like every other band that we acknowledge a lot on here, nobody's getting any younger.
right, and that's the thing. If you can go see Heart the next time they tour, which I'm sure they'll tour, um, go do it. You won't be disappointed. Ann Wilson remains one of the preeminent singers, male or female,
Oh
in
yeah,
rock music. I mean, she's fantastic and still has the voice for the most part. I think I saw them just a few years ago, and I don't think she missed a beat. It was amazing. So yeah,
yeah.
if you can go see Heart, go out and see them. They're awesome.
Welcome back, Kathy.
Hi.
You keep
Apparently the
flipping back
back.
and forth from the TV to here on screen to the chat,
Well, it's hard
and
to lean over because I have a back problem, so I kind of like.
scoot his ass over.
So
See,
people would rather look at her anyway.
it's with TbT and Ace and Kathy. See, it fits. It'll work just fine. One band that we probably will not see together anytime soon, and I'm pretty sure we've heard this story before, and yet they end up doing stuff together, is Twisted Sister.
Yes, D. Steiner announced something, didn't really announce it, but he discussed it, right?
Yeah, he's ruled out a Twisted Sister reunion tour. Not saying they won't play different places, but as far as a reunion tour, that part of his life is done. And
Right.
they had that one off onstage reunion at the Metal Hall of Fame. That was 5 months ago.
Right, and I heard about that. I believe I believe that's all he's up for is things like that. If you want them to play a one-off performance, yeah, we'll get together and do that. Not doing a tour, not doing a record. Um, you know, again, no one's getting any younger,
Right.
and he may have another reality show up his sleeve or something. You know.
Well, funny you say that. He was offered a role as they're doing a new Broadway production of Peter Pan, and they wanted him to play Captain Hook.
Ooh, interesting.
And they wanted him to go out on tour for 2 years playing Captain Hook, and then bring it to Broadway. He said he
2
was
years.
flattered. He was flattered he would make an amazing Captain Hook, but at the same time, that part of his life is done. He doesn't want to be living out of a suitcase. He's done.
So he is tired of the travel and the hotels and the bus. And,
Yeah.
you know, here's the thing. Those guys made a lot of money, not just Twisted Sister specifically, but bands in the 80s. And if you were smart and you saved it, and even if you toured afterward, you might as well enjoy it at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for someone that wants to tour. I'll go see you.
Sure.
I have no problem with that. But I respect the fact that, you want to rest on your laurels a little bit. There's nothing that says Dee Snider's got to keep, waving the Twisted Sister flag.
Sure.
They've got a legacy.
Yes.
They can do a lot. What Triumph does, where when we had Mike on, they're constantly putting something out to commemorate an event. It's not new music, but we're doing a package with bonus tracks or a live EP or something different. You could always do that.
I would like to see a one-off of the Moscow Music Peace Festival. One day, one show, put it on Peacock or MyCock or whatever the channels are, and just have all those bands playing a one-off show and call it good. They don't have to tour. I mean, we're talking Scorpions, Bon Jovi, Skid Row. Have all of these bands play one time and call it good. And what another thing that Dee Snider added, and this goes back to a conversation that we've had on the podcast before. He says, I've said when people retire, they should leave the stage. And all those bands, I'm tired of buying No More Tours t-shirts and seeing people signing contracts in blood, and then they show up 3 years later. I don't believe in that bullshit, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him, really.
If he sticks to it.
Right. I mean, we hear that stuff all the time, but I think he's someone that means what he says.
Yep.
I don't think he's worried about money or obsessed with money or anything like that.
I don't think so.
I'm going to the Kiss concert in November. It's the final tour. I'm thinking about wearing my final tour shirt from the last final tour.
You totally should.
I think I will.
And if you need one from the other final tour, I probably have that one.
You probably do.
Yeah. So, yeah, speaking, final tours. You just mentioned Kiss, and I didn't read the article, but I know Gene Simmons has said something in regards to, the final show on the final tour will actually be bittersweet. It'll be good, and yet it'll both be bad.
Of course.
But again, this is a tour. That doesn't mean that they're not going to perform again.
Correct.
Could we see another thing where they're in Vegas for a while?
That or a New Year's Eve show in, Brooklyn or something. They've done that before. That type of thing.
I'm requesting a one show at the Garage Mahal.
Charge admission, pay for your floor.
Good call. With the opener being Steel Panther.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean they could do more than one show. They could do a residency in the Garage Mahal.
In the Garage Mahal.
I will leave my grill out there and allow them to cook their own burgers. Or hot dogs.
That's what I want to see. Paul Stanley grilling.
See, it would just be like Ozzy cooking. Now you get to watch Paul Stanley.
I think he'd actually be better at it. Ozzy would be more entertaining, but
Yeah.
Paul would be pretty good.
Well, that's just because you wouldn't be able to. You can't understand Ozzy when he's cooking the pancakes and he's trying to tell you the pancake, and you just wouldn't understand. So it's very
But just
entertaining.
think of how good that would be when he flips the burger.
Yeah, and the grease pops and hits him. Oh, shit. Yeah, it'd be horrible.
I've been attacked by the grease.
Yeah, grease.
You know, speaking of Ozzy, and I don't have anything in front of me, but just things I've been reading and hearing. That what was it, that music festival they're having in California coming up with Ozzy, AC/DC, GNR, Tool, Metallica. I believe the record or the sales are a bit sluggish.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing. The ticket sales are a bit slow. They're trying to do what they can to get that kind of kicking into gear. But
if I were rich, I would go.
Right, and that's
100%.
kind of the point. If you were rich.
If I were rich, I would go to California.
So, to me, two selling points for this whole show is, well, one being AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people would want to go see AC/DC.
Yep.
I think most people would want to see Ozzy just to see Ozzy again and see. But we have so many unknowns. We don't know what Brian Johnson's going to be like.
Amazing.
Well, hopefully. We do not know what Ozzy's going to be like.
Amazing.
And can he do the whole show? Is he going to be sitting in a chair?
Doesn't matter.
Is he going to be lip syncing? We don't know anything.
Right.
And
I mean, we can already tell you how Metallica is going to be. They're going to be fantastic.
Right. They'll be amazing. Sure. But one of the problems they're having is, what's Metallica doing right now? Gearing up for a tour, right?
Well, they're touring their asses off.
Right. So you can see them tomorrow. I believe GNR has shows already scheduled in California the same time this show is coming around. So
Right.
you could see GNR cheaper, 3 days before they do the concert with AC/DC and everyone else.
Yep.
I think that's some of the issues they're having is right now.
Yeah, the Power Trip Festival's 3 days long. First night is GNR and Iron Maiden. Saturday night is AC/DC and Ozzy.
Yes.
And then Sunday night is Tool and Metallica. What a badass lineup right there of just Tool and Metallica.
Sure. And think about the AC/DC Ozzy night. Oh my Lord, that would be fantastic. That would be a great show if everything goes the way they want it to go. And it's one night. I think they can pull it off for one night, but there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, Shannon has stated road trip. So
has she?
Yes.
you may be going to California in October.
I may be going to Chicago for the Metallica show.
So 3-day general admission for this festival, this Power Trip Festival.
A lot.
Wow. 1, 2. Let's just stick with one ticket. One ticket, general admission, all 3 nights, $600. Now, 3 nights, so that's $200 a night.
Right.
2 bands, so it's $100 a band.
Not just 2 bands, 2 huge bands.
Sure. What do you pay to go see a band nowadays anyway?
I will tell you, you will pay sometimes $200 to $300 anyway.
If you want to go see Matt Rife, the comedian, you're paying ridiculous amounts.
I came out of nowhere.
Yeah, my daughter has thrown this at me recently, wanting to go see this person.
Yeah, because he's going to be in our area like for 4 different nights, and they're all sold out already.
Well, I need to figure out who the hell he is because
he's raunchy.
Oh, okay.
He's raunchy.
He's not Andrew Dice Clay raunchy. He's not Sam Kinison raunchy. He's just, I don't know. I don't think he's bad. I would go see him if the tickets were like they should be, like $35. Certainly not worth $100 to $200. And he even put out, and it, we're totally off topic here, but he even put out a TikTok that said, "Don't pay that much to come see me." He goes, "That's ridiculous. All you're paying are the fees that all these other, Ticketmaster and whoever put down." He goes, "My show's not worth it."
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I see what he's saying. That secondary market kills you. If you don't get tickets on the first night or the first day or the first week, that secondary market kills you. But
oh yeah,
back to the California festival, the Power Trip Festival, where we live. Of course, we're in Indiana, so we would have to fly to California. We would have to get a hotel for at least 3 days. We have to feed ourselves.
At least 5 days. The day before, the concert,
Right.
the concert, the concert, and then that night after.
In your case, we have to buy the drink package.
Duh.
I mean, it's not just the price of the ticket. So,
did you see the package of prices? Like if you did a 4-pack of tickets, your hotel was like $6,000 for 4 tickets plus your hotel for the 3 nights.
Oh my gosh.
And that included the ticket. The ticket and the 3-night hotel stay for a 4-pack was like $6,000.
Wow.
So I'm going to, what am I going to in Louisville?
What are you going to in Louisville?
I don't remember what it's called.
Louder Than Life?
Yeah, Louder Than Life. That is like a shit ton of bands.
But that's a reasonable price festival, isn't it? It's reasonably priced.
What's that?
Like $600.
It's a 3-day festival, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And did you pick a night?
Now I've got tickets for all 3 nights.
All 3 nights, $600.
Yeah.
Who
and this
are the
is
big bands?
Yes, I do. I just pulled it up. This is actually a 4-day. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is so Thursday night. The headliners are Foo Fighters, Weezer, Rancid, Coheed and Cambria are that night, and then a bunch of others. Friday night, Tool, Godsmack, Limp Bizkit, Megadeth, Corey Taylor, Bad Omens, Kitty, Fever 333, Avatar. Those are just the ones I know.
Okay.
Saturday, Sleep Token, Memphis Mayfire, The Amity Affliction, The Who.
The what?
The HHU.
Ooh, the Mongolian metal band.
Yes. Asking Alexandria, Baby Metal, Parkway Drive, Pierce the Veil, Falling Reverse, Pantera, and Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
The last night,
he's just there.
The last night, Queens of the Stone Age and Green Day. So I'll probably come home after Saturday night.
Wow, those first 2 nights are amazing.
That's a little different than last year.
Well, I think Friday and Saturday are the 2 best nights. I could go without seeing anybody on Thursday, with the exception of Coheed and Cambria. I'm a big fan of theirs.
Right.
But as we were talking before we went on the air, I'm not a big fan of the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, we talked about that before we went on air. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
The new record is out. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You may even like it. I sent it to you because we share Apple Music.
Yep.
But I think that if you went to see Foo Fighters, you might be a fan. I think it's one of those bands, if you saw them live.
Oh, no, I would love to see them live.
I think you would.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, I've got tickets to be there, so I might as well.
Right.
But I'm very excited to. The 2 I'm probably most excited about are Avenged Sevenfold because of the new album that I absolutely love.
How are they going to do that record?
They'll just have to. They'll play probably the two releases, the 2 singles off of it. And then
Okay.
all the other stuff's going to be old stuff. But they are the headliner for that night. So they may have a couple hours to just go to town. And I want to see Pantera because I
Yeah,
love that lineup.
that is a killer lineup, and they are having a blast,
Yeah.
playing those songs, especially Zach. Uh, Zach is just enjoying bringing that music to the fans again.
Yep. So a weekend 4-day pass, 4-day general admission for the weekend, $299. So $300.
Okay.
With the amount of bands that you get, and look at that being 300 versus the price of the California one. I granted those are huge bands,
Yes.
but you have a potpourri of metal bands that you're going to pay $300 for, and that's for every freaking day, every night.
Yes, and for you, it's an hour drive.
Right. I will probably stay there that weekend because I don't want to make that drive 4 times.
Yeah, but you'll sleep in your car.
I'll probably stay in not my car, unless I end up getting the floor done in the Garage Mahal. Then I will be prostituting myself to pay for that and to have a place to stay.
That's
Can I
your feet
say
on
that?
only basis. We talked about that. Your feet
Hey,
on
my
only.
feet have been selling well. I just recently, I can't pull them up here, but I most recently went to purple toenail polish. Apparently purple is the way to go. I thought it was black. It's purple. So, yeah, I'm sticking with it. And I'm going to show up at Music and More Records with purple toes and
Do it.
Bad
Do
Company
it.
Barbecue because they've got this shit out right now, which is the Truffle Shuffle. That's the
Right.
new one. It's amazing.
It is.
Like it's holy crap, is it good? We put it on uh potato wedges the other day
Oh,
and they were
wow.
good.
Let me tell you, the other day, I
The
believe
other day,
Sunday,
my other day or your other day?
my other day, Sunday,
Yes.
I made my famous chicken and noodles in the crock pot, and it needed something else. And guess what I grabbed? I grabbed the Bad Company Barbecue, urban garlic, butter urban garlic.
Oh yeah.
Put that in the crock pot, and man, it set it off so well.
I need the recipe.
I will send it to you. It's excellent. I made
Oh,
my own cream of chicken soup.
what? Did you
Yeah, I couldn't
cream the
find any.
chicken in your yard?
I did. No.
How do you cream it? Never mind. That's just awkward. Kathy,
Well, it
do
was
not let him say that he's having cream of turtle.
cream of turtle soup.
Yeah, because I really don't know how. I don't want to know how you
Monster has lived long enough.
It'll be
cream of
fine.
monster turtle. I mean, yeah, soup. I
It'll
I
be
don't
fine.
know. What, him or the turtle?
Both. It'll be fine.
Oh,
It'll be fine.
okay.